Hi everyone, Anthony Fantana here. The internet's a bit... And it's time for an album review. Blu Exile. Give me my flowers while I can still smell them. Obviously, this is the hip-hop duo consisting of Blu, who is an MC and a little bit of a producer, and Exile, who is a producer and a little bit of an MC. And what this album is a project that they originally teamed up for last year. They put it up on Bandcamp, leaked it, and in the state that it was a pretty rough and unmastered listen. But now, in this new, recently released version, you're getting an actual mastering process done here. The track list is tweaked a little bit, which I'm happy to hear. I'm sure a lot of people that heard this LP are going to enjoy this remaster a lot more, but still, the rule of thumb for many is going to be the last project that these two put out together, Below the Heavens, which is easily one of the most essential hip-hop albums of 2007. I mean, just really conscious, charismatic rhymes with some great production that flirted with soul, boom bap sounds as well, jazz. And when it came to a subject matter, Blu was on. But when he had a more free-form song going on, he was interesting as well because of his energy. But after Below the Heavens came other projects for Blu, and man, last year was a weird year for Blu. Blu signed to Warner Brothers to put out his next LP, New York. They wanted to kind of hold off on the album release, kind of became a botched situation. Blu leaked the album himself, and no real opportunity came up to kind of get a proper release date and promote the album in such a way where it would be heard outside of people in Blu's immediate fan base. Now, this album that Blu leaked, New York, it had a lot of very subdued rapping on it, forward-thinking beats. Some of the hooks were very horribly crafted, and the whole ambiance of the album reeked just blunted swag, but it was still a pretty interesting LP that I think deserved a little bit more attention than it got. On top of this New York situation, Blu was releasing a group of projects that were just very lo-fi, horribly recorded, messily put together, unfocused. And this LP was one of those projects. The lack of mastering just made it not sound all that great. And there was just an overall lack of lyrical fire and energy coming from Blu on this LP. Again, like New York, very subdued. Now, I am happy to hear this remastered version, but still, you know, I wish I was getting that same level of energy and same amount of effort from Blu as I heard on, you know, Below the Heavens. There are some tracks on here that come forward with a very obvious theme or topic, like the song More Out of Life, where Blu is rapping about, I don't know, I guess basically raising the bar for himself personally. There's also a great line on here where he's rapping relationship, slave ship, we gotta raise the shit. And the track A Man, which is one of my favorite songs on here, is a song where he's kind of philosophically in pursuit of his heritage, his roots, but also kind of divulging what he believes his personal take on religion. But I'm sad to say that most of the tracks on here are horribly unfocused when it comes to just a narrative. Now, not to say that this album doesn't have a theme. I feel like pretty much all the rhymes that Blu spits on this LP are very, you know, self-oriented and very personal. Not self-oriented in a braggadocious way. He's just kind of divulging little bits of his personal life now, him growing up, his youth, his ideas, his experiences, his feelings. It's as if Blu had a family photo book of his entire life, and instead of going through it page by page and sort of telling listeners about the story as it goes, he's kind of pulled all the pictures out, cut them up into little bits, and then kind of reoriented them as a collage, a lyrical collage. Now, as far as the production goes on here, it is as subdued as Blu is. There are some tracks on here that do have kind of a bit more gusto to them, namely the song that features a great verse from Fashawn. But still, things are toned down on this album. It is a much smoother LP, and Exile's production reflects that, though the beats are still great. The track Ease Your Mind easily has one of the cutest beats on this entire LP with some very plinky piano. And the song Money has one of the most cutting beats on here, but it's kind of a small beat. It's like a baby hip-hop party. There's a tight groove, some skippy vocals, and some DJ cuts, horn samples as well. And the song Good Morning Neighbor has this, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood sample in it, as well as the song Seasons. That has a Tom Waits vocal sample in the freaking track, which actually goes over pretty well. I did like this LP quite a bit. I think Blu right now is kind of on this rough, lo-fi tip at the moment that I think works really well for some MCs that have a very kind of gritty persona to them, but Blu doesn't really have that at his disposal, which is why I think a lot of these lo-fi projects just have not panned out to be something that great for him. I mean, the only thing that has made this album good is the little bit of focus that has come with the tracklist tweaking and the remastering. Though I do think a lot of the personal musings that Blu on this album has to say are pretty interesting. He doesn't really approach them with any urgency whatsoever, and it does make me tune out at times, even though I, do like the instrumentals and I do like a lot of what Blu is putting out lyrically. I'm feeling like a light to decent 7 on this LP. What did you think if you've given it a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Blu Exile, forever.